Everything is working and we are on and going. Excellent. Okay, let me pull up my chat. Chat. Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Colorful Threads Embroidery. I'm Juliet. And today we're going to talk about fonts as soon as I pull up my video. It's just in regular YouTube, right? Not in the Monday. That's 6 days ago. That was last. Yeah, just pull up chat for me. Hi guys. So welcome. We're going to be talking about some fonts today and settings in the software and all kinds of fun things that you can do just with fonts. Get my thumb drive plugged in. No. So we got chat up. First Fruit. Hi, welcome First Fruit. How are you? I am doing good. I am staying busy and out of trouble. Let's see. I am just opening up some files, getting to my embroidery files. Where are my fonts? Let's try here. Oop, wrong thumb drive. So we're just going to be talking about fonts. So if you have any questions about fonts, please put them in the notes below. I'll try to answer every question while we are live today. And if you happen to be watching on a replay and you have questions, then I will try to reply with answers. But I'm also going to be showing you some resources that you can go to. All right, so the really, really cool thing is I am 5 subscribers away from having 2,000 subscribers. So if you are watching and you are not subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. I would love to make 2,000 today. So hit the subscribe button. If you get good information from my video today, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. And if you want to see when I go live, which is usually going to be every Sunday, hit the bell and select all. That way you get all the notifications and see anytime I post a video, or go live. I'm really enjoying the live format so that I can talk with you. I am also liking it because this is real reality and there's no editing. You know, this is what real life is. What do we have? Colleen, good afternoon from Michigan. Good afternoon from Michigan. Hi, Colleen. Do you need to change accounts on there, maybe? That's weird. It won't pull up on my account. Okay, no problem. Okay. Let's see. So, fonts. What can you do with fonts? There is a lot you can do with fonts. And let's start with, let's see, is it under letter? Yeah, there we go. Floral alphabet, okay. All right, now we got chat. Yay, over here instead of way over there on the other computer. Okay, so that's good. So, thank you for everything. Yeah, we can switch to the other screen. Oh yeah, so we can see everything. Okay, perfect. So, let me minimize this. So we're going to talk about fonts. So, The first thing that you need to do is establish what version of Design Shop you are using. Are you using version 9? Are you using version 10? Are you on version 11? Are you on version 12? Are you on something older? And what does your version of font allow? Because some things, you know, every time they have a release of software, they're going to add bells and whistles. They're going to add new things that you can do. That's just the way software works. So once you know what version you're using, then you need to know what level you're using. Are you using editor? Are you using vector? Are you using the pro version? Because that also is going to affect what type of options you have to working with the font. So if you don't know, you can always look that up. So I have previously pulled up the Melco website, which is, you can go directly to it here at the Melco Zendesk. It's otherwise known as an FAQ site. So if you go to the Melco service site, this is going to be the knowledge base / FAQ site. So this is where you can get information. They have videos on how to use the software if you've not worked with all of the different functions that are in there, or if I missed something. But what it also lets you do is they have all kinds of information. Let's see. Oops. Scrolling. Remember, it's reality. Here we go. What's new in Design Shop 11? So see 12, features, videos, all kinds of information. What do you want to know? So I want to make sure that you have resources. So that's why I am letting you see this. So the biggest question that I see floating around everywhere is, can I use a BX font? So a BX font is a font that is proprietary to Embroidery, and they cannot be used in any other software. So whatever software you're using, they're just not usable. So what we can use, we're going to just pass that along. So see, BX fonts, it tells you all about it. Can't use it. But let's go back to our fonts and what we have. So when you are, let's say, digitizing for a font, fonts are all made out of column stitches, 90%. There are some of them that are created with fills and some that are created with some walking stitches, which is fine. Bye, have a good day, thank you. And so if you want to create your own, that's generally where you're going to go. We're not going to be creating our own today. We're just going to be talking about all the cool things. And the one feature that I am going to be talking about, which is in the pro level of version 12 of the software, because every time software comes out, I always have to have the newest and the latest, greatest. So I don't want to be held back by not having a feature. So if you don't have Design Shop 12 and you haven't upgraded to Pro, today might be that kicker that puts you into that. So the fonts that come with your software are digitized by a human being, and it is created for use at a certain size, right? So the designers at Melco, when they create a font for us in the software, and that's going to be any of these fonts in here, your blocks, your scripts, handwrittens, all these things, right? These were all created by somebody out at Melco, and it was created for us to use in our software as native software fonts, so that we can type in the keyboard and write something out very quick and easy. So let's see, what am I using right now? Airfoil, which I believe is a script. All right, so this font, for example, this listing this is what version 12 looks like. It's going to show you a little bit of the lettering I typed in. It's going to show you the size this font was created to be able to stitch out well in. Now, if you go bigger, Or if you go smaller than the size that's recommended, you're going to have issues with the font not sewing well, or, you know, things pulling apart and you have gaps and weird things going on in your font. So try to stay within the specifications that your specific font shows. Okay, so now here's another, it's going to be, let's say, one of the cool features that I'm really enjoying with version 12. And that is the quick and easy accessibility to special characters. All of these special characters that you see in this list, which I can't move the mouse over to show you, but you see the special characters over the letters, right? How do you access those easily? One of the things we can do with our software is turn on our character list. When we turn on the character list, it actually shows up with all of them. Let me make this box bigger. There, now I can see all the special characters. So it gives me all the special characters. Now, sometimes they can get like really unlegible. They do have a plain text little box that makes it just some simple block, but it will actually stitch out in the decorative stitch of whatever it is. But this way you can find what accent do you need, what special character do you need in order to achieve the goal that you're trying to achieve, whatever that font is. So how do you access it? Let's say, here's what I have typed in. Let's talk fonts. Let's see, L-A, A-E. Okay, it doesn't matter. No, there's no special L's. No, there is an L here with a slash through it, and I don't even know what that means. But let's say you want to use that here. First thing you're going to do is put your cursor in, get rid of the standard L, and I'm going to click on the special character twice. 2 clicks. A double click puts it into my box. I'm going to click apply. And there it is with that little slash mark right there. Special character. I love this quick, easy access to the special character and being able to just double click and put it right into your stuff. Super fun, super easy, super quick. So that is one fabulous feature in the software to use. The other one that I want to talk about is, you know, there's going to be a lot. That's why I'm trying not to number them. So we have the ability to access true type fonts, right? And this allows you to take in a client's order. They are using a specific font in their logo or whatever it is they're trying to get set up with you. And you can use it across platforms. You could use it if you offer any kind of t-shirt decoration where you're creating things with a DTF printer or DTG printing, screen printing. Maybe you're, you know, doing cut vinyl on a Cricut and you have a font that you want to make some shirts and then you want to do some embroidery. You can use that true type font in our software. Now, the cool thing that happened with 11 and then 12 for sure was the ability to use open type fonts. And I don't even know if I have an open type font on this particular computer, and I don't. Haha, no open type fonts, but that's fine. You can use an open type font. Open type fonts also have special characters. Sometimes it'll have like an exaggerated schwa off of the end of the tail or something. So you can access those as well. I guess it would have been good to have an open type font installed, but that's okay. Hi, Crystal. How are you? What software am I using? I am using the Melco's Design Shop Professional, and I am working in version 12 today. All right, now we're going to do something really cool. I have over the years bought lots of fonts, and was this kind of going back to the BX font situation where you buy this special fancy font that has a decorative stitch in it or something, right? You can buy all of those all day long from anywhere you want to buy them. And I have a file where I opened up a font that I really enjoy. It is a floral font. And, you know, it's annoying if you are wanting to offer this font as something that your clients can walk in, you have a monogram shop, they walk through the door, and you want to offer, say, Halloween. Like right now, everything is Halloween because everybody's getting ready. So if you wanted to offer a font that maybe has a pumpkin or some kind of fall flower or something like that as a monogram font, it's going to be annoying to go in here and pick that letter out. Instead, you just want to be able to put it in your software with a keyboard lettering attached to it so that all you have to do is type in a capital A. So I want to show you how I want to bring in this beautiful floral font that I have. And we're going to set it up in the software to make it keyboard lettering ready. I didn't know they had their own software. Yeah, Melco has had their own software for as long as I've been doing this. So I've been doing this, August was 25 years for me, and I've been working with Design Shop all along. Way back in the beginning, they had the levels that were like Summit. I don't even remember now. It was like different, but it was all still Design Shop. So yeah, I've been working in it for 25 years. And it is, their software works with the operating system software. If you're dealing with like an EMT16 or any of the Amaya machines, you can type up, say you're doing group names or something, you type up a name, you send it to the machine, straight out of the software to the machine, and then sew it. So it's integrated with the operating system software. The only thing you can't do that with is the Summit and the Bravo. You would have to actually save it to a file. Okay, so let's get into making this font. So we're going to go here, and I'm going to close this. Here's my Let's Talk fonts. So we're going to delete that. So first thing I'm going to do is bring in this letter. So I'm going to open, and that is under backup. Everything. Embroidery. I know I have way too much lettering, and it was called Floral Font. I mean, it could really be any of these. All of these are going to basically be the same. Here it is, 1300 floral font. So this is the letter. And see how it has like vines and flowers and things? This is beautiful, and I want to be able to use it as keyboard lettering. So I'm going to open my first A. So this looks like it's about 2 inches is the native size, right? So sometimes you can buy fonts and it'll say 1 inch, 1.5 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch, whatever. So you want to pay attention to that so that whenever you bring it in here, we can make sure that you still save it as 2 inch, 3 inch, whatever. Okay, so all I'm going to do once I have it in here is right click, and I'm going to save letter. This is how amazing this feature is. This is the feature I wanted to talk the most about today, which is how to make these things keyboard ready. Now, first thing I'm going to do is say new so that I can name this alphabet. And it's a floral font, so I'm just going to call it floral font. Did I hit enter accidentally? Seriously? Okay. Floral. Okay, just took it as floral. That's fine. All right, but it's 2 inches. So I'm going to save the letter under floral, but I want to make sure I put in here that it's 2 inches. And then what key on the keyboard do I want to associate this letter? It is a capital A. So I'm going to shift capital A. And okay. I'm going to delete this A, and I'm going to bring in the B. Right click, save letter. So you just have to go through the font once. Make sure it's the alphabet you want, which is floral. We're still at 2 inches. And this is a shift capital B. And okay. Now, let's test our theory and make sure that we did that right. Let's see. I'm doing research on embroidery machines, and so far I like the Summit. But what is the difference between Melco and Ricoma, and how is customer service? So, I have been a Melco client for 25 years. I have watched them grow and develop their machines along the way. I am in love with the Summit. I don't know if you can see it behind me. But I have my Summit here behind me. I love it. This is the best machine yet. They have really made this machine user-friendly. Now, the very first time I bought my first Melco machine, there was several brands out then, and I did research as well. And the only one that had customer service that would talk to me whenever it was convenient for me, the sales rep made himself available to me on a Saturday because I worked the job Monday through Friday. And they are USA products, right? Keep it here, made in the USA. So all of the tech support guys are in Denver, Colorado, and they do have a Spanish-speaking technician they can get on the phone if you are Spanish-speaking. They have the best customer service of any brand. Now, I am an instructor for Melco, so I go and train new clients on their machine, how to run it. And then I'm a technician. So I've been a technician for Melco for 20 years. And I see all of the brands that are out there. You could not give me a Ricoma machine. You couldn't. Because the main core parts inside that machine are plastic. Their customer service is horrible. Their warranty, they want to call it, is not a warranty at all. They never cover anything under the warranty. That is the biggest complaint I hear from everybody. So they're designed to be disposable. But the warranty on the Melco machine, they support their machines so well that the tech support on the phone can walk you through 90% of what phone calls they get. 90% of the calls they get are handled over the phone. The other 10% that they have, they will dispatch a technician out to help you, take care of you. They cover all parts and all labor. The other thing they do, which isn't heard of anywhere in the industry, I've yet to hear of it from another brand, is they will continually warranty your machine. You can renew your warranty and renew your warranty and renew your warranty until they no longer support the machine, which I think is like 12 or 13 years. Unheard of in the industry. So it's going to be more money, but you're getting a better quality product. That is my sales speech for today. If you would like to talk to my sales rep, like I am a client as well from Melco, I deal with a sales rep as well. They're kind of called more account managers now, but my rep is Gerald. His information is going to be linked below. You can call him directly. That's his office line, so he'll be Monday through Friday. He'll answer any questions that you have. or if you have any more for me, you can certainly ask me more questions as well. But I absolutely 100%, this is my machine, this is my product. I wouldn't go to anything else. So there's my spiel. Contact Gerald below if you'd like. Let's get back to this font. Now we got to test our theory and make sure that our font's saved. And I got to go back to screen. Screen, yeah, that's the one. That's the one. Okay. All right. Okay. So now I'm just going to go to my font and I'm going to type in capital B because that's what we're looking for. I'm going to drop down my little menu and I'm going to go to custom because this is a custom font that I made. And there it is. It's called Floral and I see my B. Okay. And there's my font. It is beautiful. Center, actual size. There we go. It's keyboard lettering all day long now. Of course, I can go in and change the colors of the flowers. I want is a blue, let's say. So there's my font. This is the most amazing feature of 12 that I am absolutely in love with because I have for so many years collected so many fonts that I would love to just be able to, let me type in Sarah, let me type in Juliet, let me type in Fred, and use these beautiful fonts. So you do have to go through your lettering at least once, pull them all up and assign them to the keyboard, but then you're done. And they're there and they're ready for you anytime you need them. Yeah, it is a powerful, powerful software. I love the pro level because it lets me do so many things. Now, let's say we want to use this exact B on a bath towel and we need to use some knockdown. There is a very quick basting and primer stitch. So this is, since knockdown is considered, again, a term that is proprietary to another software, ours is called primer stitch. So primer stitch, let's see, I'll do an offset of maybe 20 points, which is like 2 millimeters. And okay. There is my knockdown stitch, and that would of course be sewn in the color of the bath towel. So if you had like a cream colored towel, you would use a cream colored knockdown. That's going to lay all those loops down for you, and that's going to allow your lettering to be nice and bold and not be lost in the fluff of the towel or fluff of the fleece or flannel. You know, anything fluffy like that minky fabric, you would want to use a knockdown on just to lay down all those fibers of that minky stuff. Okay, let's see. Now then, what are some other quick, fabulous things in our lettering? So I'm going to do my name. And I want to, let's make this 2 inches. Enter. Now, my font has gotten bigger. My lettering has gotten bigger, and half of it is satin and half of it is fill. There is a quick way to work with that. So we go to our top stitching. And in our top stitching, there is a use a fill for stitch lines greater than 0. So the width of this is bigger than 80 points, which you don't want anything that wide on something you're going to be sewing and putting through the laundry anyways. But I don't want my lettering to be half and half satin. Like this here is satin. This is satin. This is fill. I don't want my lettering to be half, just to kind of look sturdy. So I would want to turn this feature off by putting in a 0. Let me turn on my auto apply. Yeah. Nope. That did the opposite it wasn't looking for. That turns it off, which makes it all set, which is the other thing sometimes you always want to do. So I'm going to change it to 100. Enter. 100. Come on. Come on. Did my auto turn off? No, auto apply is there. Satin. You can also just pick the fill. The satin should work. Maybe 1. Okay. I like that. Peggy, hi Peggy. You're late, but you made it. Yes. Welcome. I guess for you, this would be like starting at 12 o'clock instead of 1 o'clock because you're in another time zone. Yeah, I just like 1 o'clock because it gives me a chance to get up and kind of get everything ready for the stream and all that good stuff. But welcome. We are working with fonts and all the cool fun stuff we can do. Now, there we go. Aha, see there, it did it. All right, now there is a shadow, create shadow, and it's kind of buried in some of the versions. Like you have to go through a menu to find it, but in version 12, they made it a feature with its own little icon. So you can do a quick shadow. And it just pops it right in. What color do you want your shadow? It could be any color you want. We'll do orange maybe, orange and blue. You can see it. Quick shadow. Love this feature. It is great. Just being quick and on the screen, ready to go. There's also let's see. Let's turn that. Get rid of that. Delete that. There is also a outline. Not what I want. Generate borders. Okay, so now you want a border around your lettering. Smooth is fine. Single border is fine. So it makes a border around your whole name. This quick feature here. Anytime you see the little black arrow in the bottom right corner, that means there's more features available that you can left click and hold, and it will fly out. It's like a fly out menu of other things. One of the cool things that you can do with the auto borders, just like here, will allow you to generate a border very quickly around. You can see it generated this little satin stitch here. Is it wide enough? Do you want it wider? My computer apparently takes a few seconds to, there it goes. See, I got my border here. So you can enable quick borders, which I don't remember exactly what version that, what level as far as like basic or vector goes into effect. But in 12 and in the Pro, it's right there. Okay. What else can we talk about with lettering? There's just, the problem is there's so much. We talked about the special characters. We talked about line type. Well, there is some line types which you all kind of know already. Basic block, handwritten, my custom font, true types. So we kind of talked about all of those. Delete. Okay. All right, so let's do this little feature one more time where we bring in the letter. Escape. Bring in a letter. We're going to do the C. This one looks a little smaller than 2 inches, doesn't it? Well, scale, we're going to make it 2 inches. Right click, save letter. This is in floral. This is the shift capital C. Excellent. That was really the biggest feature I wanted to talk about today. Can you change the texture of the font? Hi, Peggy, that's a great question. Let's see. Can we change the texture? Yes, we can. So, if we have a letter, and you know, I'm Juliet, so I'm going to use a giant J. Let me make this about 3 inches. Get it all centered on my screen. At the window. Okay, so right now, because it's so big and this is so wide, it's just this random fill. So we have the ability, let me hide the character list, we don't need that. We have the ability with our font to do some really cool things. Let's get my screen kind of organized here. All right. If we go to our top stitching, because right here, right now we're on the letters page, which doesn't let us do much except for, you know, pick the letters and what we're doing. So then we're going to go to top stitching. So in top stitching, we have the ability to access a few things. We can change it to a fill, which this is more of a nice smooth fill instead of that random fill. There's also pattern fills that we can pick. Maybe we want some lattice. Come on. I know that's going to be hard. Come on. Maybe my auto isn't happy. Top stitching. Fill. Apply. Lattice. Okay. The 3 little dots kind of shows you the different fonts that are out there. Maybe we'll do border squares. I'll apply that. Fill. Presets here are just some regular just fills with different textures to them. This one probably needs to be put back to none. Keeps wanting to go back to satin. Why are you not working? Basic block, lettering, Fill, turn that off, no satin stitches, apply. This should be crazy. Decorative stitch. Decorative stitch is working. There's a whole list of decorative stitches that are in here. That one at least is working. Giant. Hearts. No. Seriously, don't you make me try to reset my software. That won't work. Well, we were on decorative. Pattern. Hearts. Where's the hearts? Helix. None. Apply. Fill. We're on decorative. Keep forgetting what I was doing. Decorative. Default is geometric. Let's do pebbles. Yeah, pebbles is not small enough. Spin's kind of cool. So these are like decorative stitches that you can use. That one's kind of, you know, fun. We were playing with these a couple of weeks ago. We did a decorative stitch on top of 3D puff foam. Okay. But there are fills. Why are they not working? Is this something in my software? That is definitely not border squares. Keeps jumping back to satin. Okay, I'm going to win. I'm going to go to operation and I am going to convert it to a wireframe. Now I have fill, lattice. There we go. I win. So it has something to do with it being in the alphabet and not wanting to bring these into the alphabet. So I had to convert it. So I will send that bug to the Melco support and see if we can get that resolved quickly. Okay, so Peggy, can you put the decorative stitch on top of the fill stitch, but in a different color? Yeah, we can. You have all the great questions. All right, so I'm going to leave it as a column, and then I'm going to duplicate it. So that's going to give me two of the exact same shape. So the second one I'm going to pick is decorative stitch. And let's do Kiss Me. The first one, we're going to keep that one as just a plain fill because that could get a little squirrely. And you said a different color, so the second one would be a different color. So let's do maybe orange. Oh, that kind of looks striped with the kisses. Kiss Me is like lips. Let's do the leaves one. That one's more open. Yeah, that's kind of nice. And so each one of these is kind of, they're all just like different. Some of them are meant for like larger areas, smaller areas. There's scales. So that would be a decorative stitch on top of a fill stitch. So this is exactly what we did a couple of weeks ago whenever we did the decorative stitch on top of 3D puff. I did recently get a text message with a photo of a stitch that was very interesting in that it was a satin with something else on it. So Peggy, this would be your photo I'm talking about. I did kind of look at it and decipher what was going on. And when I show you, it's going to be crazy. I'll show you. So basically, they had a letter that was satin, not fill, because, you know, it's got to be satins whenever it's puff. And then what they did was they did a long walk stitch down. Let's do it as a manual stitch, actually. I don't know, maybe we could do it with the length. It's going to be a bean, and I'm going to do a thickness of like 9 with a stitch length of 80. And they went down the middle of that letter. Left click. I'm going to do a right click here and a left click here. So that was here. And that's kind of what they did. And it looks like 80 is not long enough. So maybe it needs to be like 150. Let me change the color because it was like a different color, right? So the bean stitch isn't going to be really representative, right? Because we're just trying to get like a bunch of stitches back and forth, which gave it that like hand sewn look around the edge. And then they came back with more satin stitches to cover the penetration points. So if I take a vector line, I can show right here is where those stitches penetrate. Where's my vector line? Oh, it didn't do it. Delete. If I pull this over, you can see it here. That's our stitches. Let's see. Let me turn on expanded points. That'll give it to you. So select this. Turn on expanded points to get the little X's. It's right here. You can kind of see the break in the stitching here. That's kind of the line right there. So what they did is they came back with a satin stitch again, but only ever so far. So maybe they had a walk stitch from here to here, and then they did a little bit of a column from here. Wrong column tool, haha. From here to here to cover the penetration points. And of course that would be satin. Whoa. Wow. Ah, stop. Let go. Oh, there we go. Buried. All right. Come on. 0. Apply. Like that. That's how they did that stitch that you sent me the picture of. Is to make it look hand sewn down. So they came back and then they covered like the walking and getting there to do all of the stitches that were covering the penetration points. with that next layer of puff, which was just standard puff. And whew, that's pretty thick. I haven't had a chance to like play with it actually on a machine, but this is how they achieved that effect to look like it was hand sewn around the edge of it. Let's see, I'm trying to think of if there's not really like a decorative stitch per se that could be used to do that. That's out there that I know of. That does a space. Blocks maybe. Where's that one? Was it called squares? Squares? No. I thought there was one that was like squares. Box. That would do it. Then you got to make sure you time it all, right? So this one is the decorative, but it'd have to be on the side that isn't exposed. That would give you boxes that were spaced out evenly. Box, small, width. Let's do maybe a 300% width. I'm trying to stretch it and it's not working. No, wrong. Undo. It's not width, it would be height then, 300. So yeah, something like that would work to make it kind of quick. Maybe flip it horizontal and flip it vertical so that it was on this side. So that would give you that stagger. You just have to make sure that it goes where the penetrations of these are using a decorative stitch. Does that help you figure that out? Because that was an amazing photograph. Thanks for that. It definitely made me scratch my head a little bit and go, how did they do that? But that's how they achieved that. It was multiple layers of stitching on top of that puff. Top of the film, different color. Yes. Okay, so I did answer that question. So anybody have any more questions on lettering today that I can walk through with you? Otherwise, if you have not already, let me go back to my, excuse me. Get a drink. I didn't drink any at all, and I've been talking for an hour. So don't forget, if you have not subscribed already today, please subscribe. I'm trying to get 5 more subscribers to make 2,000. Make sure you hit the bell and select all if you want to see any notifications of when I go live. Give me a thumbs up if this helped you or if you learned a new trick. And I'm going to call it a day for today. I usually like to keep it, 45 minutes to an hour. And of course, I'm joking. So thank you, everybody, for stopping by. Till next time.